Saladin from Love Life Yarn, and today we're going to be crocheting the corner to corner moss stitch. Now this is one of my favorite crochet stitches in general. I've been using it for a long time, especially because I just used single crochet and chains, so it was easy when I started out, and I love the texture of it. How you can see in the fabric the single crochets and then the chains, and it makes a really nice, we'll say it's like a tweed, especially if you do different colors. But we're going to be using it today to just crochet a simple dishcloth. You can make it as big or as small as you want. Typically for a dishcloth, I would make about 9 inches. And you can always put a border on if you want, but I really like the way this simple stitch gives you these little, almost like eyelets here on the edge. And so personally, I'm not going to put a border on mine. I'm going to leave it as is, but you can do a single crochet border or something more elaborate, but I just love this simple stitch, and we're going to work this together today. The yarn that I'm using is Lion Brand Mako Cotton, and I have loved mine and used this little skein almost all the way up. And one of my favorite clover hooks, the size I, the 5.5 millimeters. So we're going to start out, of course, with a slip knot. Okay, I've got that. And now we're going to chain 3 for our the first little corner. You just single crochet in this last chain from the hook. So I have 1, 2, 3, the one right here by my slip knot, and I like to work into the back of the chain. That is totally up to you. Mine are always a little tight at the very last one, the very last chain. It's always a little tight. So just single crochet. So pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. You got a chain 3 space and a single crochet. Now turn it, which is so little it's kind of hard to turn. And get my yarn to cooperate here. I wrapped it up, it's my fault. Now you always start the increase rows with a chain 3. Get a little closer. 1, 2, 3. Now since this is only our second row, we're going to skip the single crochet, and we're just going to work into the chain 3 space, which is actually right here beside that single crochet. Okay, it doesn't look much like the moss stitch yet, but turn it again and chain 3. And now into this chain 3 space right here, we're going to work single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, all in the same little chain 3 space. Okay, and there's your first eyelet. Right now it looks kind of weird because it's the only one, but don't worry, it will get some friends soon. Turn and chain 3. Okay, now you're going to start working into the single crochet, the single chain space right here. So single crochet, you can see the legs of it, they make like a V. And then here's the next one, see the V. We're going to work in between the 2. So this spot right here is the chain, because you've got V for single crochet, chain, and then this V. So go ahead and put your hook right there in between the 2. Should go in pretty easily. Single crochet, chain 1, and now in our chain 3 space here on the end, you're just going, always when you're increasing, you will do a single crochet, chain 1, single crochet in your chain 3. Okay, so turn and chain 3. Look again for that space. This one's a little closer. You see I have my 2 V's are much closer together, but I can still squeeze this in here in the middle. And chain and single crochet. Chain 1. Now I'm looking for the next chain space. You can see right here. And I will single crochet in this chain space, chain 1. And here I am back to the end, so I'm going to single crochet, chain 1, single crochet. Okay, so we're starting to get a little bit of a pattern here. So turn, chain 3, and this is the one we're going to repeat. So look for your first chain space in between your V's, chain 1, and you'll just repeat this. You will single crochet in the chain 1 space, chain 1, and skip the single crochet. It doesn't matter how wide it gets. Even when it's really wide like this, I worked the same thing. I had my wrong side. I had my chain 3, and then I single crocheted in that first one, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, single crochet. So it doesn't matter if you're making a blanket and it's, 100 stitches wide in the middle. You just make sure you're single crocheting in each chain space and then chaining 1 and skipping your single crochet. So just, single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1. Doesn't matter how wide it gets. You'll keep doing that all the way across till you get to your chain 3 space. So here I don't have too many yet. I'm still pretty small, but I have 2 here in the middle. And now I'm on my chain 3. So I'm going to single crochet, chain 1, single crochet. And working into that chain 3 space is what gives you that little eyelet look, so that open here on the end. So you're going to repeat that as many times as you need to make it the width that you want. So you'll chain 3, single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, and then always in the chain 3 space, you'll work single crochet, chain 1, single crochet to make it wider. So work as many rows as you need to get it to the width that you want. I'm going to work a few more rows. I'm not going to make it huge, and then I'll show you what to do when you're ready to decrease. Okay, so I've worked mine quite a bit wider, but you can see not terribly wide, but you can definitely see the moss stitch pattern forming just like we saw in the larger dishcloth. And so this will be my corner here. So I'm ready to start the decreases. So I'll still start this row the same way. I will chain 3 and work just like I did before. Get my single crochet, so work across like normal. Okay, we're across here till you get to your last chain 1 space. Okay, so in the last chain 1, I'm going to still single crochet, but do not chain 1 after this. Instead, to make the corner, you go ahead and go straight into your chain 3, you single and half double. This is the only time you'll use a stitch other than single crochet, and that's just to make a nice turning corner. Okay, so that's going to give us our corner. Now chain 2 on the decreases. So when you're increasing, you chain 3, decreasing, chain 2. So now we've hit our corner, and I'm going to skip the first 2 stitches. There's no chain space anymore in these. There's just 2 stitches beside each other and then a chain space here. So just skip the first 2 and work into the next chain space right here, and then work across as normal down to the end. Something I like is the middle is always this nice and easy single crochet, chain 1. So it makes it nice, you don't have to think much about it. Okay, now I'm done with my last chain space and my chain 3. So I'm going to single crochet in this last chain space, not chain 1, no chain here, and then I'm going to just single crochet in my chain space, and we're going to repeat that. So we will chain 2, and we still have 2 stitches beside each other, only now they're 2 singles instead of a half double and a single. So skip these 2 and then work our normal pattern of single, chain 1, single, chain 1. Like I said, the nice familiar comfortable pattern here in the middle. When I started designing, this was one of the very first stitches that I used for, like, it was my second design. I don't know what's gotten in my yarn, but my second design I ever made. I loved this. I used it for a little boy's cardigan, a pullover, and I adore this stitch. So here we go. Just single, no chain, single in our chain 2. And you're just going to repeat that. So when we turn, we will chain 2, skip the first 2, single, chain, single, chain, single, chain, single, chain, single, chain, all the way across, down to this last one, then single crochet here, and single crochet here. All the way until you just have the very corner to go, and then I'll show you how to work that little corner. Okay, and here we are down to the last couple of rows. You can see I just have 2 little single crochets here in the middle. So let's work to the very tip of it. So still chain 2, skip our first 2 stitches still, and then work this one right in the middle. And now we're already ready to single right here. So we just had chain 2, single, single. And now we'll chain 2 and just single crochet in the chain 2 space. And to finish it off at the very end, you just chain 1 and single crochet in your chain 2 space. And that is the end. So it makes a nice little square here with a diagonal stitch, slanted stitch. So here's my larger one so that we can see the stitches. So yes, I just worked my increases all the way up, and then when I was ready, turned that corner and decreased all the way down to the tip. It's a beautiful stitch for blankets and washcloths, and it's just gorgeous. So I hope you've enjoyed this video tutorial. Be sure to check out the rest of my channel for more great video tutorials for stitches as well as projects that I've designed. And be sure to check love.life.yarn.com for more than 100 free patterns. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.